So guys,
so it's exactly when you say what, am I going to do that?
don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, but that's here we go. Oh no.
Camera's rolling.
You'll run out of fucking battery by the time you finish.
I'm going to love putting this in a film. How can one man be that fucking useless?
Right, are we ready? Can I get... They're waiting for us. Oh, I can hear them calling. Where's the next man? That's probably talking. Right.
Right guys, we're back again. We're having a load of fun today, me and Andy. We've been making the raspberry mash, okay? Wild raspberries, all picked from the local mountains here in Austria, okay? And what... Hey, don't forget your mate. Yeah, typical Brit, always looks after himself. He should have been a dentist, only ever takes her out one at a time. Thank you very much. What are we drinking here anyway? Chocolate and mint. Oh, this is a favourite. This knocks the girls dead. Oh, lovely. Cheers, Andy. Right, don't forget at any time. Oh, that's got some kick. Oh. Anytime you want to subscribe, don't forget, top corner, Andy's going to show you, top corner, press the subscribe button. Keep up with our latest films. And if you like what you see, press the like button. If you want to send us any comments, we're here to answer them for you. Okay? Hope you enjoyed the film. See you soon. Right guys, it's time for the next mash. We've got some wild raspberries at the moment, and we've got approximately 3.5 kilos. Andy's just finishing off washing them through, as you can see. He's just going to turn the water off and let them drain for about 2 or 3 minutes so that they're not too damp as they go into the mash pan. So there we go, everything's on the table, all the fruit's nice and clean. Andy's made a lovely job of that. The scales are all set to 0 because we've already put an empty container and reset the scales. So let's stick the fruit on there, Andy, and let's see just what that weighs. Right, what you can see there, guys, raspberry fruit on the scales is just a tad over 3.2 kilograms. So what we need to do is work out how many litres of mash we're going to get from 3.2 litres of raspberries. So we've cleaned the fruit, we've weighed it, we know how much fruit we've got in kilos. Next thing to do is just to change that to the, how many, Andy, can we crack on with this job please? These guys anywhere in the world are looking for you to show them what to do. Thank you very much. So, 3.2 kilos of raspberries, fresh wild raspberries. The conversion rate we're using is 1.1 litre of fruit for every kilo that we've got. Isn't that right, Andy? So that means we got 3.68 litres of raspberries in this mix. And because it's such a wet fruit, we do not add water to the raspberries. So it's purely just fruit. It's going to ferment with itself once we've added yeast, biogem, liquefier and go through it. So no water, and we know that once we've mashed this up, we got 3.68 or, to make it easy, 3.7 litres of mash. So Andy's got his masher out. If he ever puts that little snap spot away, thank you very much, Andy. And this is the bit I love, because as Andy's now going to mash it with his little potato masher there, what we're going to do is we're going to sit back and watch him do some work for a change. Isn't that the best bit about all of this, eh? Yeah, see you in about 20 minutes, Andy. And don't stop until it's an absolute lovely job. And no mess, please. So we jump straight now. Andy's finished mashing the fruit. It's a very viscous fruit, raspberry, as you can see, which is why we're not going to be adding water to this mash. So we're going to jump straight into adding the liquefier. The liquefier, what this is it's a natural enzyme that helps the fruit decompose and break down, so that fermentation process really does get going as soon as possible once we get the yeast and the sugar added into it as well. So that's in, liquefies down, little mix through, Andy, and then we jump straight on to the next stage. So we've mixed the liquefier in, Andy's done a good job. Next thing we're going to put into this mash to get this going is the Biogen M. Okay. Now, what we've got, don't forget, now we're working on litres. We've got approximately 3.7 litres of raspberry mash in a liquid form. The Biogen M, what you need to be doing is adding approximately 3 to 4 millilitres per litre of mash. The biotin, basically what you've got, it's a several fruit acid, and it's a one-off. It will correct the pH value to 3.5. And the good thing with the Biogen M, you can't get it wrong. As long as you put the minimum amount in, and me and Andy always work on 4 millilitres a litre, as long as you put the minimum in, you can't put too much in. So you're better to be 1 or 2 millilitres over. You're always going to get 3.5 pH. So we've got the Biogen M in. Next step, we're going to add the yeast, turbo yeast, as you can see there, just in shot. We've already pre-weighed it out. We've got 5 grams in our little spoon, and the reason we get the 5 grams is for every litre of mash, we add 1.3 grams of turbo yeast. Now the turbo yeast, what that's going to do is that's going to affect the natural alcohol content of the raspberries, which is between 6 and 10%. So we take an average of 8. That's going to affect that up to 20% with the amount of sugar that we add with it. So 1.3 grams per litre, 3.68 litres. We're going to get just under 5, but we're putting 5 grams in, okay? And obviously, as you can see, Andy's giving it a good hammering again. Mix it right in there. Next thing, sugar. So we've got the sugar pre-weighed, ready to go into the mix. Just to let you know what we've got there. 3.7 litres of raspberry with an approximate alcohol value of 8%. Now 8% volume is going to give us 180 grams per litre of sugar from that fruit. So that's the natural sugar that's in there. So we've got 3.7 litres, that gives us 584 grams of natural sugar already in there. We're going to increase this alcohol volume up to 20% using the turbo yeast and sugar. So in total, including the natural fruit sugar and the sugar we're going to add, we need 1.44 kilos of just normal granulated sugar. So 1.44 kilos less the 584 that we've already got in the natural fruit gives us 384 grams of sugar that we need to add. We're going to put that in 3 equal stages. The first lot going in is 285 grams of sugar. That's going in now. Andy's going to give it another hammering, and then we're almost ready to rock and roll. I love watching you work, Andy. So we're just going to finish the stirring off now. As you can see, we've got approximately 3/4 of the mash container full, and don't forget, don't overfill it. We always work to 3/4 just to make sure that when it's in the full fermentation that we don't get any explosions or any raspberries hanging off my cellar walls. So the top goes on, sealed, the bung's in the top, in the lid, and Andy's just going to put the top into that bung and just show you that little trick that we showed you last time in the blueberries. Hold the top of it in there, then pour the water. It just saves an awful lot more mess. So, there we go. That's how simple it is for the raspberry mash. That's going to go away for a week, and then we'll monitor it every day. We'll then check with the vanometer like we did with the blueberries at the end of the first week, see what the alcohol content is.